Assalamu alaikum, and welcome back once again to Today in African History with Baba Shaka. I'm Baba Shaka, and today is March 14th, 2021. Now, we are just about in the middle of Women's History Month. Today, we are, inshallah, going to continue our examination of women in leadership positions in our history. In the second half of the 19th century, the British colonized a part of West Africa that they referred to at the time as the Gold Coast, which later became the country of Ghana after independence was achieved. But colonizing the Gold Coast was not an easy feat for a number of reasons. And one of those reasons was a woman, a queen by the name of Asantewaa. Asantewaa was born around the 17th of October, 1840, and she died on her birthday, the 17th of October, 1921. She was the queen mother of Ejisu in the Ashanti Empire, which is now part of modern-day Ghana. And she was appointed by her brother, Nana Akwasi Afreme Opesi, the Ed, Edward Suhini, or rule of Edwesu. Now, for those of you who are from Ghana, please, you have to excuse the pronunciation of some of these names and words, but I'm probably going to mispronounce it. So please charge it to my mouth and not to my heart. In 1900, Asantewaa led the Ashanti War known as the War of the Golden Stool, also known as the Asantewaa War against British colonialism. Born, as I said, around 1840 in Basise by Tokweku Ampoma and Atapo in southern Ghana, Asantewaa was the older of two children. Her brother, Afreme Panin, became the chief of Edweso, which was a nearby community. After a childhood without incident, where she cultivated crops on the land around Boankra, she entered a polygamous marriage with a man from Kumasi with whom she had a daughter. She died in 1921, but she was a successful farmer and mother. She was an intellectual, she was a politician, a human rights activist, queen, and a leader. Asantewaa became famous for leading the Ashanti rebellion against British colonialism to defend the Golden Stool. During her brother's reign, Asantewaa saw the Ashanti Confederacy go through a series of events that threatened its future, including civil war from 1883 to 1888. When her brother died in 1894, Asantewaa used her right as Queen Mother to nominate her own grandson as a Jesuheni. When the British exiled him to the Seychelles in 1896, along with the King of the Ashanti, Prempeh I, and other members of the Ashanti government, Asantewaa became regent of the Ejesu Joabin district. Now, after the deportation of Prempeh I, the British Governor General of the Gold Coast, Frederick Hodgson, demanded the Golden Stool, the symbol of the Ashanti nation. This request led to a secret meeting of the remaining members of the Ashanti government at Kumasi to discuss how to secure the return of their king. Now, there was a disagreement among those present on how to go about this. Asantewaa, who was present at this meeting, stood and addressed the members of the council with these now famous words, and I quote, "Now I have seen that some of you fear to go forward to fight for our king. If it were in the brave days of Osei Tutu, Okomfo Onoke, and Opokuwari, leaders would not sit down to see the king taken away without firing a shot. No white man could have dared to speak to a leader of the Ashanti in the way the governor spoke to you this morning. Is it true that the bravery of Ashanti is no more? I cannot believe it. It cannot be. I must say this, if you, the men of Ashanti, will not go forward, then we will. We the women will. I shall call upon my fellow women, and we will fight the white man. We will fight till the last of us falls in the battlefield." Unquote. Asantewaa was chosen by a number of regional Ashanti kings to be the war leader of the Ashanti fighting force. This is the first and only example of a woman to be given that role in Ashanti history. The Ashanti British War of the Golden Stool was led by Queen Mother Nana Asantewaa with an army of 5,000. Now, Beginning in 1900, the rebellion laid siege to the fort at Kumasi where the British had sought refuge. The fort still stands today as the Kumasi Fort and Military Museum. Now, after several months of the siege, the Gold Coast governor eventually sent a force of 1,400 to quell the rebellion. And during the fighting, Queen Asantewaa and 15 of her closest advisors were captured, and they too were sent into exile to the Seychelles. The rebellion represented the final war in the Anglo-Asante series of wars that lasted throughout the 19th century. On January 1st, 1902, the British fully seized the land that the Asante army had been defending from them for almost a century, and the Asante Empire was made a protectorate of the British Crown. Yaa Asantewaa died in exile in the Seychelles on the 17th of October, her birthday, in 1921. Now, 3 years after her death, on the 17th of December 1924, Prempeh I and the other remaining members of the exiled Asante court were allowed to return to Asante. Prempeh I made sure that the remains of Yaa Asantewaa and the other exiled Asantes were returned for proper royal burial. Yaa Asantewaa's dream of an Asante free of British rule was realized on March 6, 1957, when the Asante Protectorate gained independence as part of Ghana. Ghana was the first African nation in sub-Saharan Africa to achieve this feat. Yaa Asantewaa understood the ramification of British occupation. She is seen by Ghanaians today as the Queen Mother who exercised her political and social clout to help defend her kingdom. The role she played in influencing the Ashanti men to battle the British appears to be a function of her matriarchal status. The experience of seeing a woman serving as political and military head of an empire was foreign to the British colonial troops in 19th century Africa. Yaa Asantewaa's call upon the women of the Ashanti Empire is based on the political obligation of Akan women and their respective roles in legislative and judicial processes. The hierarchy of male stools among the Akan people was complemented by female counterparts. Within the village, elders who were heads of the matrilineage constituted the village council known as the Odekuro. Again, forgive me if I mispronounce these names, but the council was known as the Odekuru. The women, known as the Mpaniofo and referred to as Aberera or Oba Panian, were responsible for looking after women's affairs. For every Odekuru, an Oba Panian acted as the responsible party for the affairs of the women of the village and served as a member of the village council. The head of a division, the Oheni, and the head of the autonomous political community, the Amenheni, had their female counterparts known as the Ohema, a female ruler who sat on their councils. The Ohema and the Oheni were all of the same Mogia, or blood or localized matrilineage. The occupant of the female stool in Kumasi State, the Asantehima, or the United Asante, since her male counterpart was ex officio of the Asantehene, was a member of the Kotoko Council, which was the executive committee or cabinet of the Asantewaa Eniyamu. Please forgive me. That was the Central Assembly of Asante rulers. Female stool occupants participated not only in judicial and legislative processes, but also in the making and unmaking of war and the distribution of land. Yaa Asantewaa is immortalized in song as follows, and I'm going to try it, but you know better. And it goes something like this: Kuku in Kuya Asantewaa e Oba Basia Ogima Apremo Ano e Waye Be AJ Nawabo and Mode. Something like that. But in English, it says, Yaa Asantewaa, the woman who fights before cannons, you have accomplished great things. You have done well. Learn that song. Teach it to me. Now, to highlight the importance of encouraging more female leaders in Ghanaian society, the Yaa Asantewaa Girls Secondary School was established at Kumasi in 1960 with funds from the Ghana Education Trust. In the year 2000, a week-long centenary celebration was held in Ghana to acknowledge Yaa Asantewaa's accomplishments. As part of these celebrations, a museum was dedicated to her at Kwaso in the Ejesu Joabin district on the 3rd of August, 2000. Now, please allow me to remind you that these short presentations are not intended to give you the full story of the subject matter, in this case, Queen Asantewaa, but rather to pique your interest and curiosity enough that you will conduct further examinations of your own. To those of you who have subscribed to this channel, please accept our heartfelt thanks. For those of you who have not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and join us on this journey. Remember, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, but it would mean a great deal to us as we continue to try to bring these daily lessons to you. Please like and comment, but most importantly, please share, especially with the young amongst us. So, until tomorrow, inshallah, this is Baba Shaka with Today in African History. Masalam.